Hi there, my name is Solomon David and welcome to my YouTube channel where I teach you how to play the violin in 15 easy lessons. What you can expect in this course is the basic fundamentals of violin playing. You'll learn how to analyze music and play sheet music on the violin. What you'll need is a violin and a bow, so do get prepped for your very first lesson. Do like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. Hi there, my name is Solomon David and welcome to our 10th chapter for today. We will be covering the time signatures and bowing directions. So let's jump right in. Okay, so in our very first half of our lesson today, we'll be covering another music theoretical thing that I'm going to share with you. In our past lessons, we've learned the time values, note names, and the treble clef, and the music stave. So in the music stave, we're going to notice that there are a lot more things that you can see on the stave itself. So today's lesson on the time signature, this is something that can be found at the very beginning of a music score. I'm going to put an example of how a music time signature looks like right here. A music time signature, if you're seeing this for the very first time, you might have mistaken it as a fraction. Well, it actually functions very differently than a fraction. It actually tells you how many beats there are going to be in a music bar. So, if you do not know what a bar is, I'm going to put another example right here. So from the clef to the music bar, which is that straight line, that is the end of one bar, or rather, we call it bar 1. And then the next bar will be bar 2, and then the next bar will be bar 3, bar 4, so on and so forth. So a piece of music can contain up to hundreds of, or even thousands of bars, depending on what the composer has written. Okay, so I always give my students this example of musical bars, to think of them as rooms. So like this room I'm in right now, there are only, we can only accommodate maybe a fixed number of people, let's say 4 people, so that's 4 beats. And then another room similar to this can accommodate another 4 beats. So every single music bar, which is a room, has to have the same number of beats. So for example, right now, if we were to rewind back to the time signature, 4/4. Let's look at this time signature. 4/4, if I were to put this and translate it into a sentence, this means that there's supposed to be 4 crotchet beats in a bar. So 4 crotchet beats in a bar. So every bar for this piece of music, unless the time signature changes, has to have 4 crotchet beats. So why is this important? If you've seen conductors or even music classes being held, you might have seen the teacher or the lecturer be like, ready, we are going to play together in 1, 2, 3. Da, bum, bum, something like this. It helps you not just count the beats, but also helps you keep consistent as you count the beats, because every single bar is going to have 3 beats. For this case, 4 beats would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you start playing, and then so on and so forth. You're going to have 4 beats in every bar. Alright, so does that mean that every single bar is just going to be 4 crotchets of different notes? The answer is actually no. So we know that music is very diverse and how it functions, and all these different beats and note names, they create that contrast, right, as you play a music piece. So definitely, even if the time signature were to be 4/4, it does not mean that if a composer wrote 100 bars, every single bar is 4 crotchets. Well, here's the mathematical part of understanding time signature. So if a time signature were to be 4 over 4, it would just mean that everything in that bar would have to add up to 4 crotchet beats. So let's give you an example on how you can look at this in a clearer manner. So let's say in bar number 1, I'm going to put it here. As you can see, 4 over 4, I'm using 4 crotchets. Well, that's fine. In the second bar, to create some contrast, I use 1 minim and 2 crotchets. So does that add up to 4 beats? Yes, it still adds up to 4 crotchet beats or whole beats. And then another bar, like that one, could be 2 minims, the third bar, which would also add up to 4 crotchet beats. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like balancing out all your beats and making sure that they fulfill that criteria to meet the time signature that has been chosen for your music piece. Okay, great. So another thing is when you have all these different bars, you have these single lines, right? But once you reach at the end of a piece, the composer has to end it with what we call a double bar line. So this double bar line shows you that the piece has come to an end. So you would know that, oh, okay, so this is where I stop playing. Great, so that is the theoretical things that you must know besides the note names and the clefs and the sharps and the music stave. So try to get this digested in, and if you see in my book, I do have quite a lot of different examples with different time signatures that you can compare with and understand how these beats work. Okay, let's move on to our next half of our violin lesson, which is the practical side of violin playing. We are going to learn bowing directions. So if you haven't had your violin and your bow out, do take it out now for reference. Bowing directions is basically the direction that your bow will be moving in. So why is this important? Well, when composers put different bowing markings, this helps them with the characterization and bringing out different things that they want within that piece or that song. Yeah, so why we have these bowing directions. Also, when you have different articulations that you're going to learn in the next lessons to come, you'll have to keep track in that manner on whether you're going to go from a downstroke or an upstroke. Yeah, so let's jump right in. The first bow stroke that we'll be learning, or rather the bow direction that we'll be learning, is the down bow. I'm going to put the sign over here. So it looks kind of like a cap, and where these bowing signs will be placed is directly above the note that it's affected. So for example, if you look at this note and it has that down bow stroke, this just means that you are supposed to play down bow. So down bow means you have to start at the frog and make your way all the way to the tip. Yeah, rather in the direction towards the tip. You don't have to use the entire bow. So vice versa, if you're going for down bow, you can also go for an up bow. So an up bow looks like this, and it looks like a V. So this V means that if you were to play this note, you're going to start from the tip and make your way all the way up to the frog, or rather again, tip towards the direction of the frog. Yep. So let me demonstrate that one more time. Down bow, the downstroke means you're going down like this from the frog to the tip. And then up bow means you're going to go from the tip back to the frog. Okay, great. So if you've that sorted out, you can practice going full strokes, yeah, down and up. I always tell students that don't cut the bow short. Yeah, just think of it as a unlimited credit card. You can just spend as much as you want. Yeah, make that beautiful sound be produced, or as you practice. Yeah, just work on getting that control, because that control that you can develop when you play the violin is so very important. Okay, I have a couple of exercises, bowing direction exercises, that I'm going to share with you in this class that we're going to try together. Here's the first one. So a down, up, very simple. down, up bowing exercise. So we'll be using only the open strings today. So let's try the very first one. You have 4 G's and 4 D's. So the very first one is G. So you're going to start the frog, down, up, down, and up. Now let's pivot to D, down, up, down, up. Great. Let's try that again, but let's try it together this time. Are you ready? And 3. 1, 2, 3. Down, up, down, up. Pivot to D, down, up, down, up. Make sure when you pivot from the G string to the D string that you're getting a single tone, meaning that you're not brushing on other strings, having these double tone or dual tone noises coming from your violin. Okay, great. So just keep it nice and straight and you'll be great. We're gonna try one more, okay? I have a second one up here. This one is a different strings. We're gonna use all 4 strings. So 2 down bows, 1 down and up for G, D, A, and E. Okay, here we go. Down, up, down, up, A, and finally E. Beautiful. Okay, so if you are trying this out at home, if you have any more exercises that you would like to try, I have plenty in my music book. So do grab a copy of my music book, the Violin Comprehensive Method, that you can get from Amazon or get from the link below my YouTube. So in our lesson today, we have come to the end of time signatures, bar lines, and the bowing directions. So one little nice tip again, do use a mirror when you practice bowing directions. It helps you keep your bow in check and also see if you're bowing in a straight direction. So one other thing that I'd like to share is the reason why bowing can be also very important if you've watched orchestras or ensembles of multiple violinists playing at the same time. Those violinists, or rather those violins that are playing in the same section, should be bowing in the same bow direction. And this makes everything look very neat and very synchronized. Yeah, so do try your best if you were to see bowing markings on a music sheet to follow them as close as possible. And with that, we've come to our end of the lesson. If you've enjoyed this, do like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.